I'm sure you've heard this advice more than 100 times before if you're building a DTC brand. Launch your brand, get online, run ads on your store, and you will be a national brand from day one with nationwide reach. And so the focus obviously falls on distribution, logistics, and marketing because you want to be everywhere all at once on day one. But the problem with that is none of that works in reality if your product is not up to the mark. The product's really important. In this video, we talk about why a differentiated product on day one makes scaling your business, marketing your business, and even logistics much easier than it is otherwise. You will hear this advice from Rishabh Chopra. Rishabh Chopra runs one of the most underspoken, under-talked about, and underrated consumer brand, which is yet one of the most successful consumer brands built in India for the world. He talks about what founders in DTC businesses get wrong and what should they do instead. Come, let's get started. So, Rishabh, somebody starting out a business for the first time in their life, they've chosen a consumer product. Could be a shampoo, could be a beverage, could be snacks, could be an electronic, consumer electronic. They want to scale it online because online is, potentially, at least the narrative that we hear, you can sell to the entire country while, being in a go down. What are some things people don't foresee that may happen to them that make it hard? And let's not talk about product market fit here. Sure, I've got a winning product. Tell me, despite winning product, where am I likely to mess up?
Well, the thing is, I have to go back to product because I'll stitch it back. But I think if you get product thinking right, distribution is not going to be so complex. So the 3-step, you could say, formula that I think is a must in D2C is that first you must have very differentiated, distinguished product with very good claim, usually better than market claim, of course, legal in the country that you sell in. Because if you don't have a distinguished product, either by its efficacy/claim or by sensorial or by format, and I can talk more beauty, personal care, or FMCG because we do that. Well, one of the things, taste, aroma, otherwise, plus efficacy. Because if you don't have claim, first of all, you can't get good enough CAC anyways.
CAC is cost of acquiring a customer.
Cost of acquiring a customer, right? Because good claims, better than market claims, that means better than what the competitors are doing, make your conversion rates go up and makes your CTRs go up, so takes your cost per clicks down. So that's a game changer. If you want to build a cost efficient, even large direct to consumer business, this is the number one thing. And why is it the number one thing? Because if your product doesn't actually have efficacy, doesn't actually have claim, even the best content guys and the best media buying guys can't, do that for you. I mean, I can tell you from experience, we have bought more than $100 million of media historically. So
that means you've spent more than $100 million in ads.
Yeah,
about 800 crores you spent in ads.
Even more. But I think the base thing there is that, we sort of understand deeply what is the granularity required.
Got it.
To do that. And so from having spent that and having seen the whole journey from, spray and pray and throw a lot of things at the market and then see what works and then follow what works. In the postmortem, this is the thesis. And the thing is, if the product is not efficacious, even if you get revenue, you will not get repeat. And if you don't get repeat, more advanced investors are not going to buy your stock.
What happens if I'm able to sell an undifferentiated product? People get disappointed? Or you're just so easy to switch?
No, if you sell an undifferentiated product which is effective, you may still have retention.
But not everything is about results, no? I mean, not everything is a supplement.
Well, results could be in supplements or in skincare or could be in, could be in any area. But the fundamental of FMCG valuations depends on free cash flow. Free cash flow usually comes from repeat.
Okay.
Because today upfront CACs are too high. So in some constructs where you have a high enough AOV, you have very high gross margin, some very few constructs you could basically...
So it's impractical to keep acquiring new customers.
No, you could, but you won't be valuable. So if you look at the US market, today many companies trade at one-time revenue. The last report I saw, the average Indian beauty personal care company traded at 5 or 6 times revenue, even at scale, even in a few 100 crore scale, they were trading at 5 times. So now, where are these multiples usually coming from? They're coming from seeing that the global players, the L'Oreal, the Estee Lauders, these guys have these multiples. But why did they have those multiples? They had those multiples because they're profitable. Why are they profitable? They're profitable because they had repeat. Why did they have repeat? Because they were efficacious. I mean, these companies have very large research budgets. So to pull it back, I think too many people come to D2C thinking it's about contract manufacturing a product and finding a way to sell it.
Yes,
But
put all of my funding into ads.
Yeah, but even if you do that, it may not be valuable, because actually if you look at the US markets, most of the companies are not valuable anymore. So that's why I think product is very important. If you get distinguished product with high claim, then the best copywriter can really get you high conversion, and then the best media buyer can get you the distribution. So it has to flow in that order. When it flows in that order, you use very little capital and you can have a very large company. I mean, I believe in maybe sub 1 million, sub 2 million, you could maybe build 150 crore, 200 crore revenue company. If you
Sub
get
2
this
mil
done.
funding.
Yeah, sub 2 million funding, maybe some debt. And you could probably get to, so we had used sub 4 crores till we got to 60 crores revenue. Actually, maybe 5.5 by that time, but till we had got to 60 crore revenue. So if you really get this right and focus on that. The other thing that I think, since the audience, you told me the message that is important, the really important thing in D2C consumer is granularity and detail. And that really, I think, is missing even when people come from top schools of all sorts. If you're really detailed about your messaging, segmentation, are going to work super hard, look at the screen 12 hours a day, you will find details and optimize conversions and optimize products that will make you fly through. But if you think life is about talking to a lot of agencies and hopeful that will get done, etc., I've never seen the D2C is about detail. And at least that's my belief. I mean, I don't mean to be I have a lot of respect for agencies and I'm sure they do great work.
Right.
But I think the thing is the incentives are a little bit different in some ways. And I'm talking about capital efficiency. When you're a very early stage business, you don't have the capital, so you need real efficiency. So just focus on the details and everything will get done.
See, Rishabh, you're not just selling one product. No, the Ayurveda experience doesn't just sell one product, and many brands don't just sell one product. Somewhere the brand becomes something that's beyond the product, and I could be wrong here. Eventually you start buying things just because it's by a certain brand, and then what is it? The onus is up to the brand that make sure that every product in your line is meeting that mark of efficacy that your customer expects it to.
See, the test I like to apply is which brand have people bought for 5, 10, 15 years, but the product is not great.
Got it.
Right? So usually, we try to justify it in brand. And of course, brand is the culmination of product, messaging, behavior of a company, and all these things. So if you're using that definition of brand, it's fine. But if you think some branding is making companies massive, I don't believe so.
Past success that or success based off one category that also spills over to
other things.
Yeah.
I think like anything, if you have a good experience with somebody, you give them another chance.
Right.
If you have a good experience with a person, you do more business with them until you let you down. Right. And the moment they let you down, you're always in doubt. And doubt is very tough to cure.
Right. Okay, let's focus on marketing. And in marketing, let's not just talk about advertising. Let's talk about content, and which is something I see on your website. Your website is very unlike of a store. You guys are heavy on content and very differently heavy. It's not like you have a lot of blogs or videos. It's just different. It's a different approach. How do you guys think about content? What is your differentiated approach, and why is it there? Why does it exist?
Well, I think the core thing about a content is customized to markets. So our content is customized to the markets that we operate to, and usually we are in categories which are underpenetrated, underserved, lack education and awareness in the markets that we go to, and hence usually we need more content, more education, more explanation, more building of social proof, trust, etc. And because usually the categories that we enter are not well known in the countries that we enter them. So that could be a reverse case for somebody else. So the category is well known, but you have a way, your whole focus is on how you differentiate yourself from the competitor. So point of content is simple. Yeah, ultimately, it is a way to address the whatever is stopping the consumer from transacting with you, whether it's trust or comfort or price doubts, need for efficacy, whatever it is. So it's your way to convert somebody's lack of comfort to enough comfort and trust to purchase. Um, so it's very contextualized. Ours is contextualized to our markets, our categories, because they're underpenetrated categories.
Isn't it by definition, when you're creating a category, creating a market, or getting into under aware categories, if I may term it like that, isn't it bound to be expensive to, for the business to even enter such a category?
Well, I think it's the contrary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
When you're
think.
creating a market, you're actually likely to be more uh, profitable than otherwise.
Yeah, well, so I rarely ever said this publicly, and anyways, we don't know much publicly. But from all our research, very
Breaking
significant
news.
research
Yeah.
over the period of time is, I think the core of D2C is differentiation,
Hmm.
right? And if you're so under penetration naturally gives you differentiation.
Hmm.
But if you're going in the middle of what everybody does, then you naturally don't have differentiation. So, and why is it core? Because it helps you, all advertising engagement metrics increase when you have differentiation.
Hmm.
Conversions go up if you have differentiation plus efficacy.
Something new to see.
Something new which does, you
The
build enough
job.
trust that people
Yeah.
believe it actually does that. And so conversions go up, engagement rates on ads go up, ad prices could in some scenarios go down, or at least CPCs go down because click-through rates go up. So differentiation to me is the key. And that's why it all goes back to product, because you can only have differentiation if you have differentiation in product.
Okay.
Right. So I highly advise, I mean, since the audience who said this video is for, you can. So I got started in direct to consumer in a company which has never raised capital in Malaysia, where I worked for 6, 7, 8 months. Little bit different view on their product strategy, but that company that never raised capital does more than $100 million in revenue. Of course, internet was earlier, ad prices were cheaper, but I still think if you don't go in this rush of first focus on capital, and if your first focus is just that, does my product need to exist? Is it efficacious? Is it safe? Is it differentiated? Does it beat the competitors? Does it add something new to the market? If you focus all your energy on the product
Hmm.
and then, sort of start the marketing, life will be much easier. You lose much lesser capital. Your company will actually be valuable. You may actually make some money.
Lovely. That was great. That was quick. Thank you so much.